coming off a comeback for the ages from Team Saskatchewan. Now it's a chance for the host, Regina Trappers, to punch their ticket to the playoffs as they take on Team Manitoba in our final game of game day number 2, a battle of two 2-0 teams. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Loubardias alongside the great Dan Esty. And Dan, we do have a showdown of unbeatens, and to the winner will indeed go for sure a playoff spot. We know that.
Absolutely. We know they'll get into the playoffs at 3-0. The question is that 3-0 team going to grab that ever elusive bye into the medal round on Sunday? So lots to play for here this evening. Two great pitchers on the mound as we see Scott Beaver deliver his first pitch for Team Manitoba. We have Gavin Wuschke on the mound for the Regina Trappers. So should be a great one here tonight, Peter. Looking forward to calling this one.
Jordan DeZoto on the ground. Nice little country hop, they used to call those, to Drew Hillhorst. And there's one away to begin the game. Scott Beaver, the pitcher, 7 innings at last year's Canadian Championships in Tecumseh. And the outing didn't go great. He did have 9 strikeouts in a game against Alberta, but he gave up 7 runs in that contest, hoping for a little better, or maybe more like what he's done with Rivers, the team that he plays regularly for, where he went 4-0 this year, 37 innings, 67 strikeouts, and he's a power pitcher by the stats. He struck out 12 batters in 4 or more games.
Certainly, and had a great year for the Rivers Comets. Was named the top pitcher as well as the MVP of the league from an article that I saw a little while ago. So congratulations to Scott on a great year, and I'm sure he's thinking in his mind right now he's not done yet, as he definitely wants to try and deliver a win here for Team Manitoba and push them even closer to a national medal here.
Facing a very good hitter in Griffin Keller, who's made his mark in the 2 wins by the Trappers, 7-1 yesterday over Nova Scotia, and then a 10-4 victory over Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies, in a game where 10-4 really didn't tell the story. The Trappers at one point trailed 4-2 and blew it wide open with 6 runs in the bottom of the 6 as Keller, who's driven in 4 of their runs in the tournament, is aboard on a 1-out walk.
And certainly for this Trappers offense, can break out at any point in time against any team. They have that type of power. They have contact hitters. They have, they can hurt you in any way. They have speed, high baseball IQ. So definitely a team that you can't kind of lay down on.
Jordy McDougall, I've mentioned a couple of times, rarely gets cheated on any swing, and he took one way out of here against Team Alberta. His grand slam was a massive part of the 6-run 6th inning. He's 4 for 8 in the tournament. He had 3 hits and 4 tries in their 7-1 victory at this time last night against Nova Scotia, the Dartmouth Dry. And as the night goes on, and this Pool B will keep you up to date on another game that's important to the standings and kind of try to set the record straight. And a terrific breaking ball. Looks like it's coming right at you until it ends up over home plate. And there's the first strikeout of the tournament and the game for Scott Beaver.
Absolutely. You get a good look at that one there from our center field camera as that curveball breaks down and in over the inside corner for a strikeout in the second out here in the top of the 2nd inning. But as our other game that's happening this evening over at Optimist has Team Nova Scotia taking on Team Ontario. And like we said, lots of games left to be played that are going to have a definite outcome in the pool play for both pools as we lead into playoff Saturday and then championship Sunday.
Chris Unterreiner, the 34-year-old veteran catcher, had 6 hits at last year's Canadian Championships in Tecumseh, where the Trappers, for a 2nd straight year in this event, ended up winning a silver medal, losing to Quebec in the championship final. Quebec's on the hot seat here in Regina. They're 1-2 in the other pool. They're in Pool A, heading into their final game of the round robin tomorrow morning.
And that game going to have a lot of meaning for both teams, as Team Ontario 2 just dropped a heartbreaker 3-2 against Team British Columbia. So both those teams going in at 1-2 are definitely going to be looking for a second win there to definitely try and get themselves at least into a quarterfinal and then take it from there.
Hunter Reiner in search of his first hit at these Canadians, 0 for 7 in his first 2 games. And with good hitters, you wonder how much longer it could last. But with the runner Keller on the move, a swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts and a good beginning for Team Manitoba's pitcher, Scott Beaver. It's our first look at this park at the All-Star Group from the fine province of Manitoba. We'll show you their batting order when we return to Curry Field on day 2 of the Canadian Championships. Starting pitcher in this third game of the round robin for the Trappers is a 23-year-old from right here in Regina, Gavin Wuschke, coming off a great year at Bellevue University in Nebraska, where he went 8-2. And in 2 years with the Okotoks Dogs of the Western Canadian Baseball League, Dan, his record 11-0.
That's some pretty impressive numbers from the Regina Trappers starting pitcher tonight. And as we said, this is one of the games when we saw the lineup cards and saw the 2 pitchers that we're going to be throwing in this one. We knew that fans that are very quickly filling in the stands here and have a great crowd here tonight certainly aren't going to be in for a treat with these 2 pitchers.
Third baseman, 23-year-old Russell, Manitoba product, Dawson Tweet, hit it hard, and Philip Langlois does well to field it and step on first for out number 1. That's a hard hit ball by Dawson Tweed, who came into the night 3 for 8 in the tournament with a double and a run batted in.
Absolutely. Good pitch there from Wuschke, but good piece there by Tweed, but right at Philip Langlois, and he's able to go over and step on the bag, and we got 1 out here in the top of the first.
Center fielder Ty Paddock hitting in the number 2 spot. 2 for 8 in the 2 games he's played here in Regina. He's driven in 3 runs. He had a couple of runs batted in their opening game victory over the Leaside Leafs. Ontario won, and then contributed as well in the 7-6 win earlier today over Nova Scotia. And the out is made by Kendall Keller, who played in game 1, did not participate last night, and contributes early defensively here, Mr. SD.
Yeah, absolutely. There, a ball that I think Kendall thought it was going to hang up there a little bit longer, but able to take a couple of quick steps in. A little bit of a slide there to get that one, and the batter Ty Paddock down for the second out of the inning here.
Good contact from both Manitoba hitters, and this one rides high and tight on 21-year-old Caden Rosdaba. Hit .438 so far this year for Oak River. And is 5 for 9 here with a double and 2 runs batted in. He was 4 for 5 in their opening game win over Leaside.
Yeah, Rosdaba is part of that kind of youth trend that's pushing through some of the Manitoba leagues for sure. Had a great year with Oak River, and Oak River overall had a great year as well, going 13-2 in league play before bowing out in the, I believe was the championship final of the Southwest League. So certainly one of the up-and-coming players on this this Manitoba team for sure.
Players primarily coming from the Southwest Senior League and the Border Baseball League, as no one would know better than the gentleman to my right, who has spent so much time covering this sport at the senior level so well.
Absolutely. Majority of their rosters from those, or the players from those two leagues for sure. They do have a handful of players that do play for the West Winnipeg A's as well from that league too. It's a separate league, but yeah, very, very talented roster here with Manitoba for sure.
And Rosdaba will be the first base runner for Team Manitoba. Draws a Wushki walk. And the batter is catcher 27-year-old Austin Pistaka, who's one of those Winnipeg A's that Dan was referring to. Hit .514 in that Winnipeg League with 40 runs batted in. Austin's 2 for 7 with a double and a run batted in so far here in Regina. As Wushki misses outside.
The West Winnipeg team has had another good season, one of the stronger teams in the Winnipeg Loops. I know they played this year at the Western Canadians and did well there. I believe they were also at the Manitoba Provincials as well and had a pretty good run through that tournament too.
So Pistaka, the catcher. Rosdaba, the youngster, 21 years of age, and he's from Oak River. Played at Valley City State College this year, did the base runner. And Wushki will try and keep him a little tighter.
Can't wait for that sun to disappear.
As our home plate umpire tells you how he feels about the setting sun. It's okay, sir. We haven't always enjoyed the sun into this part of our world this week either. But it became very, very satisfying with the weather that we were experiencing, especially early in the day. It was very chilly as Wushki does find the strike zone.
I got 3-1 now.
Thursday, too much sun. Today,
3-1.
Not enough sun. Hopefully tomorrow we find the balance.
And we're both away from our sons.
Yes, that too.
That's all I had. I made you laugh, so it was worth it.
That's
swing and a miss from Pistaka as Wushki fights back from 3 balls and a count. Now it's full with 2 out in this showdown of 2-0 teams, and the winner into the playoffs and could very likely win the pool. Langlois.
Where's the
got a nice hop.
ball boy? Ball girl, ball boy.
0-0 after one
I'm way down,
on day number 2 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship. Cole Baumel set to lead things off for Nolan DeZodels. Regina Trappers hoping to get back to another title game, and this game could go a long way in determining that fate. It's a battle for top spot in the pool. This is Pool B. Baumel in the tournament, 3 for 6 with a double and 2 runs batted in. The 32-year-old from Munster, Saskatchewan, hit 300 at the Canadians last year. Hits this one hard to center, and it's going to get over the head of Ty Paddock. Baumel's thinking about third, and he's going to put on the brakes with a leadoff double to open up the top of the second, the first hit of the game off Scott Beaver.
Great pitch by Beaver, but great piece of hitting there by Cole Baumel. He hits that one, short hops the wall in center field. Had an idea to go to third, but right about there, I think made the right decision and pulled up and keep a runner in scoring position here with nobody out for pretty hot Dylan Edmonds right now.
Edmonds 2 for 7 in the tournament. He homered. A key home run last night in the win over Nova Scotia in a 7-1 triumph. Had a hit this afternoon in their 10-4 win over Team Alberta. The fine shortstop, the 24-year-old from Regina, who had 7 hits in this very event last year in Tecumseh, Ontario. Looking to potentially drive in the first run of the game.
As we settle into this one here, we do have an update already from our other park. It is the Leaside Leafs, Ontario #1, leading the Team Nova Scotia squad by a score of 1-0 as they play in the bottom of the first. So, as we have done before in our other games, our other broadcasts, we'll keep you in the loop on that one as well. You can watch on the IKS feed over there. It is video only, no audio. And you can also follow on Game Changer on the Baseball Canada website.
3 balls to Dylan Edmonds. And he gets a green light and fouls it down the first base side. Dylan hitting .432 this year overall coming into this event. So he can flat out swing it. Beaver checks the runner.
That's out. Ball 4. That's the thing. Like if you
second walk
and he hits you and you don't move
of the game. And runners now for the Trappers. First and second, and no one out. Interesting to note, Dan, it's the first game they've played, talking about the Trappers, that they didn't give up a first inning run.
Yes, that's correct. They gave up the first run in both of their games so far. So we'll see if they can continue the trend of zeros on the board here, despite that not happening this game.
Philippe Langlois, originally from Quebec, calls Regina home, where he's a police officer. Gets into this one, and Rozdaba makes a whale of a catch right near the track. It allows Baumel to tag up and go to third, as Langlois almost hit it out of here.
Yeah, it's that tough direction right now. The wind is starting to die down a little bit, but puts a charge into that one for sure. And Caden Rozdaba able to make the catch there a few feet in front of the wall, and still gives Cole Baumel enough time to go back, tag up to second, slide into third safely, and we have runners on the corners and 1 out now for DH Nolan Bracken.
So the shift in the lineup has had a lot to do. Is Edmonds going to steal second easily? With which hand the starting pitcher throws with. When it's been a righty, it's been Bracken and Keller in the lineup. It was Arnold and Vogel facing the lefty earlier today when they dealt with DJ DiPiero in the win over Team Alberta.
You know what? It's good to have options like that as a team. You have enough confidence in your guys that you can flip positions like that and flip players in and out. It's excellent. It's all about the team at this point, right?
Gives you great versatility as Bracken, who did have a hit in the win last night over the Dartmouth Dry.
We have 1-2 now.
Dan, that's also a matchup of teams at 0-2 over there at Optimist, is it not?
It is, yes. Both teams winless right now, so someone going to leave that game tonight with a win, and certainly going to put them in a position where if they do win their last game tomorrow, maybe in the mix for that, that tiebreaker if we do end up with 2 or 3 teams at 2-2.
You don't want to be on the wrong end of that one. It's likely a game tomorrow in curtains for the loser.
Absolutely, yeah. 3 losses is very tough to be able to sneak in at this level, and for sure there's going to be some teams going all out to try and win those games tomorrow and at least give their team a chance at that point.
So Beaver with a huge strikeout with less than 2 out and runners at second and third of Nolan Bracken, and now dealing with Kendall Keller, the 24-year-old from Pilot Butte. 0 for 2 last night against Nova Scotia. And nice tailing movement on that fastball as Beaver works ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. He found a little extra for Bracken. We'll see what he offers up way up in the count.
Ball that's out.
We've kind of made it a point of conversation today in all these games. We get 2 runners into scoring position, less than 2 outs. Unfortunately get a strikeout there for Bracken, but, on those different types of plays, you want to try and get the ball into play. And most chances, more than not, teams are going to give up that run early, right? But it also puts that pressure on a team if they do get that run early. Now the other team knows that they have to play a little bit tighter, a little bit smarter.
Kendall was a very impressive 7 for 17 at last year's Canadians in Ontario. Would love nothing more than his first hit of 2025 in this spot. And it will roll foul. It looked for just a half second like it might spin in the right direction. It would have been very difficult for him to be out if it stayed fair. It didn't.
Yeah, a good hop there behind the plate by Pistagua, but that one just kind of took an immediate right and spun foul. So Keller going to make his way back to the dish.
2-2. Here we go.
So an early moment of importance. But we learned earlier today that early doesn't always translate late.
Yes, absolutely.
Just ask Team Saskatchewan and their opponent, New Brunswick, earlier today. Saskatchewan trailed 5-0 in the third and roared back to win 9-5, and now in a great position to even potentially win that group.
Yeah, a couple of tough games in the 4 o'clock time slot there as Team Ontario, too, had a 2-0 lead late. Same thing, let it slide there as Scott Beaver able to blow that one by Kendall Keller. He retires the side here in the second inning.
Third strikeout, back-to-back Ks when he really needed them for a guy who had 67 of them in 37 innings in league play. You're watching the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship from Regina on IKS. No score early. Although over the years in my broadcasting career, you don't even like to use that term because there actually is a score. It's 0-0. Little technical thing. Mitch Olson, the batter, the 37-year-old from Deloraine, hit 125 at last year's Canadians. Mitch already has 2 hits and 2 runs batted in here in Regina. His 2 runs batted in came in a win earlier today by a count of 7-6 over Nova Scotia.
First time seeing Gavin Wuschke work for myself, and pretty impressed so far looking at his stuff. Good fastball. He uses his slider inside and outside, so moving stuff around and keeping batters off balance. Real good tail on his fastball, too.
See some similarities between both right-handers, which really shouldn't be surprising. Unless you're Chris Bassett of the Toronto Blue Jays, there are only so many pitches. This is hammered, but fabulous reaction by Jordy McDougall to rob Mitch Olson of his 3rd hit of the tournament.
Yeah, great play there. This one came off the bat hot, and good play there from Jordy as he dives to his right, able to come up with that one, and Mitch Olson down for the first out of the inning.
Ty ends in his first appearance. The 27-year-old from Cartwright, who plays for the Cartwright Twins. And a strike delivered by Wuschke. Ty was 1 for 5 with a double in last year's Canadians. And the hit came against guess who? The Regina Trappers. Well, he has 2 hits in 2 Canadians. It got away from Kendall Keller, and it's going to allow Ty Ends to make his way to second. So a hit and an error, and a runner in scoring position for Manitoba.
Well, we see Ends here with a good swing into right center field, and kind of came out of the box just kind of jogging a little bit, but then you see the misplay there by Kendall Keller. Ends turns on the Jets, and a little bit of an awkward slide there into second base. Ends on now with 1 out here, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Andrew Lockheed.
And Lockheed takes a strike, the 35-year-old from Killarney, also a member of the Cartwright Twins. Hit .310 in the playoffs for them. And was 7 for 14 at last year's Canadians.
Buy a lottery ticket on the way home, buddy.
Well, you can get a lot of information tonight. Where to buy lottery tickets, maybe grab a nice pizza later. I've absolutely loved that little addition, and they don't have to do it. Talking about the home plate umpires who we've had mic'd up the last couple of days.
Speaking of the Cartwright Twins, a team that had a very good season this year, unfortunately dropped the Border League final to the Morden Mud Hens, but attended the Manitoba Provincials as well as the Western Canadians. They did end up winning the Western Canadian tournament and did very well there. So a few of those team members here on this Manitoba roster and certainly going to make a difference here as we see Lockheed foul that one off his foot, so he's going to go for a walk here and make sure he's okay.
And catcher Chris Unterreiner coming out to have a conversation, make sure that their signals are aligned with a runner at second base. Of course, they always say you legally aren't supposed to steal signs. You know what? Everybody steals signs.
Yeah. I think more so Unterreiner going for a walk there because, as we saw in the replay there, that one ended up catching Lockheed in the shin. I think more so just wanted to give him a second to gather himself and be able to get back in the box here.
Andrews 2 for 6 in the tournament. And there's a slider that fell off the table, but Lockheed able to stay with it. Ball and 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the second in a battle of teams with 2-0 records. The winner is in the playoffs and maybe well on its way to a first-place finish and a semifinal berth on Sunday morning.
As we said, lots to play for here over the next 12 to 18 hours. It's going to be a lot of movement in the standings and a lot of things and a lot of scenarios that can definitely play out for sure, Peter.
Lockheed locked in. Wuschke well hit. And it'll make its way to the wall, and it will score the game's first run. Strong throw in by Kendall Keller, and it's 1-0 Manitoba on Lockheed's second run batted in and first double of the event.
Yeah, great at bat there by Lockheed, fouling off quite a few pitches. Finally gets one he can handle from Wuschke. Drives that down into the right field corner. You see Kendall Keller played off the wall there. Makes a good strong throw into second base, but not in time as Lockheed gets in there safely with a double. And we have our first run in this one in a 1-0 Team Manitoba lead.
Hillhorst sends Baumel back. And Cole will track it down. Lockheed made a big turn on the tag. And one thing about the first couple of innings, there has been a lot of hard contact by Team Manitoba.
Yeah, doesn't seem like Wuschke's fooling too many people here right now. And Manitoba, not taking anything away from them. They are a great hitting baseball team and certainly putting that on display here so far as they've hit a number of baseballs very hard.
Garrett Popplestone is a Brandon Young gun in league play where he hit 400 this year. 438 was his batting average last year in Tecumseh, and he's 3 for 6 to begin this Canadian Championships. To the backhand, DeZodel. Andrew Lockheed's double to the wall and right cashes in the game's first run, and after two, in a showdown of two 2-0 teams, Manitoba leads 1-0 from Curry Field in Regina. Jordan DeZodel grounded out to second base. And Andrew Lockheed, double, has scored the game's first run. And Scott Beaver, who's been sharp,
That was right on the corner.
delivers a pitch right on the corner for a strike.
Up. Ball.
We do have an update from Optimist Park. After a Mac Mitchell sac fly from the Leaside Leafs, they now lead that game 2-0 over Team Nova Scotia, the Dartmouth Dry. So again, we'll continue to keep tabs on that game and send you some updates as we get them.
Trappers had runners at second and third with only one out, but Beaver ended the inning with 2 straight strikeouts, and he has another, his 4th of the game, to begin the 3rd. Mentioned off the top in previewing what he's done this year that he's had 4 games with 12 or more strikeouts, and you can understand why.
Certainly has. We talked about his numbers before the game and the power aspect of things, and certainly right now he's showing not only that power behind that fastball, but showing a little bit of baseball IQ as well with mixing pitches to some of the more dangerous hitters here for the Trappers.
Well, here's as dangerous a hitter as I believe the Trappers might have in Griffin Keller. He's homered, he's doubled, he walked in the first. 3 for 7, officially the numbers for the 27-year-old, who had 8 hits at last year's Canadians. So this guy can flat out swing it. Also won the home run derby. Also is hitting .480 on the year coming in.
Yeah, certainly has a lot of power at the dish, and I don't think he was too happy with that one, but going to hang around now with a full count. But absolutely, the last few years of the Nationals, and this is their 3rd year going in a row, he's won 2 of those titles and been in the final, and the other one against Grant Malm from Coquitlam in Tecumseh. So
that was a grade A changeup.
Yes. And that's one thing with Scott Beaver, and I think he's shown that so far. I mean, we're only a couple innings into this game, but has certainly shown that he will pitch any pitch in any count. And we call that pitching backwards to keep batters off balance, but certainly has shown he has command of all of his pitches so far.
Jordy McDougall up with the hands. Strong throw by Garrett Popplestone, and a tidy 1-2-3 third. Manitoba in front of the Regina Trappers. 1-0 in this all-important round-robin game on this Friday night of the Canadian Championships. Manitoba in this showdown of 2-0 teams. A lot on the line tonight and a lot left to ascertain in this one. Biggest hit so far belongs to Andrew Lockheed, who doubled in the bottom of the second to score the game's only run. This is leadoff batter Dawson Tweed, and again, a hard hit ball off of Wuschke. This one off the bat of Dawson Tweed.
Yeah, a good piece there from Tweed as he flies out to very deep right center field. And again, Wuschke not fooling too many people here right now, but certainly going to have to make some adjustments here and certainly try and keep these Manitoba bats off balance.
There is soft contact outs and hard contact outs in this sport. There's been a lot of option number 2 as Ty Paddock in the year. And that may have very well been a Wyshke changeup.
Ty, one of the veterans, been on the national team here for a little bit, and certainly brings a certain aspect of respect, but also a great amount of guidance to especially the younger that they've started to put onto this team now.
He hit a sinking liner that Kendall Keller and Wright was able to make the catch on.
Mm-hmm.
Ball and 2 strikes to Paddock. Pulls it foul. Considering where he hit that ball, deep in on the bat on his hands, that went quite a long way.
Yeah, he's a pretty strong kid.
Got some kids up on the hill playing catch and maybe waiting for the next home run. This one literally in. McDougall in time. Strong throw from Jordy McDougall to get Ty Paddock for out number 2.
Yeah, a little bit of an excuse me swing there at the plate by Ty Paddock, and it's a little bit of a dribbler there to third baseman Jordy McDougall. McDougall takes a couple of hard steps in, picks it up, and makes a good strong throw to Langlois at first base, and Paddock down for the second out here.
Right fielder Caden Rosdeba. He walked in the first. He's just 21 years of age. Hit .438 for Oak River in their playoff run. 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. Had a couple of 4 RBI games. In fact, both in the same series against Hamiota.
I had it right on his knee. Yeah, it was a really good pitch. Not one you like,
but I like that response. Right at the knee. Good pitch, but not one that you like. That's perfect.
Oh, that is maybe one of the highlights. Base hit. The straightaway center off the bat of Rosdeba, who's on base for a second consecutive time.
Despite the pitch that he didn't like, takes the next pitch from Gavin Wyshke and stays with that one nicely, drives it right back up the box, drops it into center field for a 2-out single here, and we'll get the catcher, Austin Pistawa, a chance here in the third inning.
Pistaka, the batter from LaSalle, Manitoba.
All that's in.
So Wyshke retires the first 2 and then gives up the Rosdeba base hit.
Veteran Mitch Olson waits on deck.
That's up.
With the importance of this game, I want to ask you this.
Sure.
Does it change how you might go about your business with your pitchers?
You know what? I think we saw a little bit of that in the last game, right? Because you look at what PEI and Saskatchewan were doing, and, you know, PEI jumps out to the big lead. You know, you didn't really see any panic from a Saskatchewan team, but they did start using a little bit of pitching there, and you noticed that towards the end of that game, they even had left-hander Rhett Fesser up in the bullpen and throwing. And, you know, he's already thrown a game, right? And it was yesterday that he threw that game. So, you know, we're at the point in time in the tournament now that you may see some guys that can bounce back quicker than others. And, yeah, absolutely. You might see someone roll into a position where, you know, they may be back out there. And it might not be much, but they might give you 1 or 2 innings to help you get through to that Saturday night or Sunday, depending on what you're going for.
Well, I just say that in light of the fact that 3-0 could elevate you into a bye directly into Sunday's semifinals.
Absolutely.
And underneath the glove of McDougall, the wave, the high throw, right to the screen as Rosdeba is going to score, and it's 2-0 Manitoba.
A good piece of hitting there by Mitch Olson as he drives that one to left field just under the glove of Jordy McDougall, and Strong throw there from the left fielder, but unfortunately a little too strong there from Griffin Keller as he airmails everyone into the netting here behind the dish. And Manitoba now cleans a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning.
At the plate, Ty Enns.
Runners at first and third. It had the potential to be a clean inning, and now it's
Foul.
turned into something very different.
For sure, and we talk about putting pressure on teams and getting the ball into play, and we're seeing that right now being done a little bit better by Manitoba than Regina, who had that excellent chance to score back in the last inning when they had a pair of runners on. And right now it's, who wants it more? And I'm sure, as we've seen from other games today, 2-0's far from over here, and especially only being in the third inning.
This one has a little bit of a different feel, too.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the game we just watched didn't either at that time. So that's a great reminder.
Mm-hmm.
But Beaver looks to be pretty locked in.
Absolutely. And Scott's that type of pitcher where he gets a big game pitcher in big game situations. And it's going to take a special effort from a Regina Trappers team tonight to be able to kind of eat into that a little bit and kind of take some of his confidence away.
Although they were in a very similar situation earlier today against DJ DePiero, who had 10 strikeouts against them, and they were incredibly opportunistic, got some big hits when they needed them the most, and in the end, not all off of DePiero, but scored 10 runs in the game.
And that's the thing to think about. I mean, you can, in this tournament, you can be talented, you can do well.
That is a fair ball off the bat of Ty Enns. And it's 3-0. And that might prompt a visit. There's no one warming up yet. But I wonder if the Trappers send someone in that direction.
I'm going to look at this one here up close. Good piece by Ty Enns. Rips it down the line, and that one pretty much lands right on the chalk.
So Enns returns to the tournament with a flurry. Andrew Lockheed started things rolling in a very positive direction when he doubled in the last inning to drive in their first run.
Good hack there from Lockheed. Comes up empty for strike one.
3-0. Manitoba.
The two things we've talked about quite a bit today is momentum. And in this case, we would talk about that for Manitoba, and then resiliency. And does this Regina team have enough resiliency to be able to bounce back from this? And like you said, they had a great effort today in that game. They come back down 4-2 against a tough pitcher, come back and win a game 10-4. Not only is it tough to do that in a game, but, can you do that twice in one day now is what we're talking at the national level.
Runner on the move and Enns. As Lockheed fouls it off the Regina Trappers dugout. So Team Manitoba off to a great beginning tonight, and they're going to add to their advantage as Lockheed goes the other way and drives in another run. It's 4-0.
Free baseballs.
Is Andrew Lockheed a quality at bat?
And that's a great piece of hitting. That's a veteran player knowing what to do with that type of pitch that's tailing away from you, keeps his hands back, doesn't try to do too much with it, and then drives it hard on a line into left field, picks himself up an RBI and a 4-0 Manitoba lead here in the bottom of the third.
Drew Hillhorst. And I think finally there's about to be a stir for the Trappers.
Play.
Remember, Hillhorst hit it well to center field to make it out.
pitch there from Wuschke to get the swing and miss there on Hillhorst.
That's one of the first things when I watch the sport that you lock in is you can get outs, but what kind of outs are you getting? Because eventually, if the contact is hard contact, I know what's going to start to occur. And this one gets away from the catcher, Unterreiner, as things starting to unravel here for the host team.
I mean, right now for Wuschke, you can't look too far ahead. And what I mean by that is, right now, yes, you're down 4-0. But your focus right now should be you have a 1-2 count on the batter with 2 outs. Work on getting this out right now. Then you get your team back on the sticks. Then we start to do some work from there. I think that's an important mindset to have is, you know, don't try and get everything all back at once.
He misses out. Was looking for a little extra on the fastball that time. To Drew Hillhorst. The Manitoba second baseman. And he had a mighty cut at that. Did number 4, the 22-year-old from Killarney.
Thank you. Awesome.
Hit .333 in the playoffs for Boissevain.
2-2.
.396 for them in the regular season.
Boissevain, another strong year this year. Won their league. I believe they won the Manitoba Provincials as well.
And Wuschke has an answer when he absolutely needed one the most. But a big inning for Manitoba. 3 runs they score in the third, and they're somewhat in command, leading by 4 in this showdown of 2 2-0 teams on night number 2 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship.
Hey guys, Donnie with Extreme Hockey and Umbrella Marketing Solutions. Really excited to throw this video that we have partnered with the National Baseball Championships that are hosted in Regina. As you know, we love getting behind our community and supporting these kind of events. This is just an absolute honor to be a part of this championship.
Stop in at 1425 McIntyre Street, Regina. We will have sales on all weekend. I will also be kicking around at the event for a few days, so if you have any questions about team, corporate gear, pull me aside and let's have a chat.
Team Manitoba trying to spoil the host team's party on this Friday night. They've moved into a 4-0 lead. Unterreiner struck out versus Scott Beaver, who has 5 strikeouts to his credit. And he's given up just the 1 hit so far. A double off the bat of Cole Baumel.
Up. Ball.
Unterreiner had a notion to try and pull the trigger. Able to keep his bat from taking the swing.
That's out. Ball.
2 balls and a strike from Beaver, who looks to have brought his A game to the park in this all-important showdown. The good fastball is fouled away by the 34-year-old Unterreiner.
I think to this point, what's made Scott so effective on the mound is not only his location, but his selection of pitches and changes in speed. As you see, a little bit of a slider there. That one misses up, but keeping batters off balance, and we've talked about that throughout the game. You keep them off balance, a little bit harder to be able to get into a groove.
Throwing some great changeups tonight, too. This one, will it stay in play? It did, but nobody could get there. I'm not sure, certainly, Pistaka, the catcher, ever saw it.
Yeah, you could tell right from his reaction. He kind of looked up in the air and put the hands up, so he didn't see it. And good effort there by the third baseman who takes a run in there, Dawson Tweet, but unfortunately he's unable to make the play either.
Well, he had a mile to go. Look how deep he is in third.
Yeah, that's a long way.
Down the line and dropped in foul territory.
And we'll see what Unterreiner does with that, because that is a extremely catchable ball. We'll have a look at it here on the replay. As that one belted by Unterreiner and right in the middle of the glove and just drops out.
Still 3-2.
Could almost see him take his eye off of it at the very last second.
Just for a second there, and that was just enough.
With the second chance.
He's flirting with that line down there. He's flirting with it.
It's some of Chris's best swings of the tournament.
Absolutely.
He's 0 for 8 in the event. Good hitters generally only go so long without turning things in the other direction. Full count to Unterreiner. And the quality at bat continues. That's a good pitch from Beaver again.
And the important thing about at bats like this, and you know and understand when you're in a slump for sure, and I'm sure Chris is feeling it a bit, but when you're able to get a pitcher to throw 8, 9, 10 pitches in an at bat, always important. Then you get that single to center field. That's a super at bat there by Chris Unterreiner as he finally breaks the goose egg and gets his first hit of the tournament.
Could just almost feel it coming, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
That's a just as you so well described, my friend. That's a great at bat, and it ends with his first hit of these Canadian Championships.
And we'll see now what this Regina Trapper team can do here. They're down a little bit, facing a quality pitcher. Now it's time to see what they can do under a little bit of pressure here.
Baumel, he has doubled in the game.
And to their credit, they've done a pretty good job of putting pressure on pitchers and getting a few hits. Not necessarily big hits, but just, kind of singles. And it keeps the pressure on the defense, like we said. Pressure on defense equals opportunities to score.
Tailing fastball, swung on and missed by Baumel, who's 4 for 7 now in the tournament with a couple of doubles. Beaver trying to help his catcher locate it this time, but unless you're Spider-Man, you have no chance to make that play.
Off the roof of the refreshment hut just to the left of us.
That would have even tested Peter Parker.
1-2, 1-2. Play.
If you're the Trappers, I will say this. Your spidey senses are tingling right now. Down by 4. Rose to butt. He had trouble seeing that too.
Ooh.
And hope he's all right.
A little bit of an awkward bump into the fence there. And he's
he's trapped in there. Oh, he got himself out.
Okay, we're good. Sorry, I thought he hit his knee on the fence there and the way he went back down, but I think he just had his cleat caught in the bottom of the fence.
Everybody went.
Well, yeah, that could have had a very poor result. Look at the hole he ended up in. Baumel on the ground. Dawson Tweet. That thing was turned over in a hurry by Drew Hillhorst.
I need baseballs.
I thought just for a second that
I need baseballs.
Tweet may have been in a position, Dan, to only have one play, but to his credit, able to get the lead runner.
Yeah, has a really good arm, and we see it on display here on this play. A little number off the end of the bat to him, and just a strong snap throw, and almost a double play there. And that's impressive arm strength from both infielders there for Team Manitoba.
Both Tweet and really impressed, even though the throw from Hillhorst went away. Mm-hmm. Just the quickness of the step and the transfer.
Absolutely.
Didn't think they had any chance at doubling somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one away on the force out at second. And the batter is Dylan Edmonds. Bit of a bluff that time from Baumel, who reaches on a fielder's choice. Both nights, or at least in both games, the Trappers have found a big hit when they've really needed one. They're getting pretty close to needing one.
Absolutely, and I mean, fourth inning, we're not late in this game, but we're getting to the point where, we need to make a little bit of a chip into this lead here now to show the pitcher that, a little bit of confidence can be had here by us too.
24-year-old with a good eye in Edmonds. As Edmonds has gone deep once in this event. He did it last night in the win over Nova Scotia. 1 for 4 in that game. 1 for 3 earlier today in the win over the Calgary Rockies representing Alberta.
Yeah, time.
And the good eye eventually leads to a 1-out walk.
Thank you.
So Edmonds has been walked twice in the game now by Beaver, as he will chat with the catcher Pistaka. Remember, Langlois hit one on a line to Andrew Lockheed, who's had a big night at home plate, the right fielder. Doubled, singled, and cashed in two. Is the 32-year-old. Langlois takes ball one. Looked like he started him with a changeup that time.
Mm-hmm. Again, showing that confidence right now to throw any pitch in any count, and that's what makes it hard as a batter in these situations for sure.
Think he threw another one. This one swung on and missed for strike one. So the Trappers, who left runners at second and third earlier in the game, have runners at first and second this time with only one out.
Mm-hmm. Nolan Bracken waits on deck. DH for this game for the Traps.
This one, well hit, and it's going to get over the head of Paddock, who tried to deke everyone. Here comes a second run. They were looking for a big hit. They just got it.
Absolutely. Just a fantastic at-bat there from Langlois. And good job by the center fielder there, Ty Paddock, as you're right, Peter. He does put his glove up there just to show like he's going to catch it. And it almost held up the Regina runner enough that he wasn't able to score, would get tagged out at the plate. But that second runner, we're going to see him come across here, and that throw just late enough. And that is a 2-run double from Philip Langlois. And the Trappers back in this game now. They trail 4-2.
His first 2 runs batted in, and they're large ones to get his group back in the contest. Philip Langlois, the 32-year-old originally from Quebec, In fact, he's played for Quebec in this event. As Nolan Bracken, the designated hitter, swings and misses at another Scott Beaver changeup. Can the Trappers be the second team from Saskatchewan today to come back from a sizable deficit? Team Saskatchewan roared back from down 5 at a similar time in the game. Is Bracken down swinging.
You can't have a guy stretching, doing that.
Kendall Keller struck out earlier. Home plate umpire says, hey, you can't be out there stretching. Okay, everybody in audio, beware. Oh. Well, the stretch is over. It continues, but on the other side of the fence. Boy, we've had some great dialogue. I dig it. The little insights that you very rarely get. Keller, it's a difficult play, and it's going to fall in, and it's going to score a run. Rosedaba came in, Popplestone went back, and neither able to come up with the ball.
Yeah, it's one of those plays, a little bit of a check swing at the plate there by Keller. Just puts the bat on the ball, and we see the shortstop Popplestone going out, and that just drops straight in between both of them for a single. And an RBI for Kendall Keller as we're back to the top of the order now with Jordan DeZodel, and the Traps now only trail by 1, 4-3.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have ever tried to catch a ball running while it is directly over your head, like Garrett Popplestone just tried, maybe on television it doesn't look that difficult. Trust me, in reality, it is unbelievably difficult.
And the extra layer to that is you know you have a teammate coming at you too, and you definitely don't want to hurt them. So I'm sure he gave up a little bit there at the end just to kind of pull up to make sure he didn't bump into the left fielder there, but absolutely.
So Kendall Keller with an important hit, his first of the tournament, and his first run batted in. And it's 4-3 as the Trappers give up 3. Well, pretty good rebound to get at least 3 of your own.
Absolutely.
Jordan Desatel struck out and grounded out tonight. Now 2 for 9 in the event.
Ball, that's up.
Keller runs well. Certainly wouldn't be on the move on this count. Taking all the way is DeZodel, as you would expect in this situation.
It's the guy that Beaver wants to go after here with Griffin Keller waiting on deck.
There he goes.
I'm on the line.
Dawson Tweet takes care of business. And where he caught it will tell you that it wasn't easy.
Absolutely not. That was a tough play into a kind of a not so dark sky yet. A little bit of light still showing, so one of those twilight plays were not as easy as it looks for sure.
Trappers find some offense. The big hit, the double to straightaway center off the bat of Philip Langlois. They add another. It's 4-3 heading to the bottom of the 4th here in Regina. 4-3. Both teams scored 3 times in their last at-bat. So critical for the Trappers, who were down by 4, but they've climbed right back into it. Both teams trying to record a very important 3rd consecutive win, which would guarantee them a playoff spot and maybe even better than that, depending on the result from the other game. And even though it's a matchup of 0-2, it has different kind of ramifications.
Absolutely. And I mean, you look at, we have 2 teams here, both battling 2-0 and playing for not only a playoff spot, but possibly a bye into the medal round on Sunday. And in the other game, which we now know is currently 4-2 for Team Nova Scotia over Team Ontario, as they play in the top of the 4th inning. Both those teams at the opposite end of the spectrum at 0-2, but a win will give you some life on Saturday. With a second win, put you into a tiebreaker and possibly, eke you into one of those quarterfinal spots on Saturday night.
And it's a different story for both teams, and I'll get to that in a second or two as Garrett Popplestone leads things off.
2-2.
Gavin Wuschke remains in the game. He's gone the whole way. There's been some activity for the Trappers in the bullpen.
Manitoba joining them now, as I see left-hander Anthony Friesen has gotten up to start to throw down there for them.
The second consecutive strikeout. This might be as good a pitch as Wuschke's thrown in the game.
Absolutely. A little bit of dip on that one. Comes back over the inside corner and catches Popplestone looking for out number 1.
Dan, you played the game at a good level for a long time. Never easy to hit a ball when it dips underneath your hands.
Certainly not, especially when it looks like it's coming at you and there's that much movement on it that it tails back over the plate, especially from a righty. It's very difficult to be able to handle those pitches.
So 1 away for the leadoff batter and third baseman Dawson Tweet.
Play.
Who's made pretty good contact twice, especially on the fly out in the 3rd to center. And he's headed in that direction again. Baumel will make the running catch.
Again, something that that may look easy. I apologize, but that is not an easy catch. That is a well-hit baseball there by Tweet. Cole Baumel making his way back in center field. And again, tough sky right now. Still a little bit of a red haze showing, so not completely dark yet, but that twilight type of sky that still makes it a little bit hard on the outfielders.
Dawson Tweet at this point has to be in the dugout going, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
He has hit it well 3 times and is 0 for 3, now 3 for 11 in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss by Ty Paddock, who's 0 for 2, lined out to right field and then grounded out on a check swing to Jordy McDougall at 3rd. And again, uncomfortably in on the hands.
Yeah, that was a great pitch right there from Wuschke. Gets that right in on the handle, and very awkward swing there from Ty Paddock, and all you can do with that one is either swing and miss or, like he did, foul it back into the netting.
Cool night, no batting gloves. Stayed in again, but quick hands to turn on that.
Pizza is $2 a slice at the concession booth. Pizza, $2 a slice.
Play.
Ball and 2 strikes to the center fielder of Manitoba, Ty Paddock. McDougall, diving try, can't get to it. And Paddock has his first hit of the evening in 3rd of these Canadian Championships.
Again, another good 2-strike approach there from another Manitoba batter as Ty Paddock keeps his hands back on that pitch, sees it deep, as we're going to see here in the replay. Just nice, easy swing, doesn't try and do too much with it, and just sneaks it under the glove of the third baseman, Jordy McDougall, and into right field for a 2-out single.
Manitoba did all their damage. The 3 runs they scored in the last at-bat came with 2 outs.
So for Wishke, definitely got to keep your focus here and work hard to get that 3rd out.
Caden Rostava at a mighty cut and a miss. The 21-year-old. Also does some pitching back in league play back home.
Yep.
He's an impressive 6 for 10 now. And that did take a bite. It's not the only thing in the ballpark right now that'd take a bite. Got company with Monty Millie and Mitchell Mosquito.
Okay, here we go. We're good.
Home plate umpire urging them to potentially break up their little visit. Pitcher and catcher. And Unterreiner probably just helping Wishke lock in a little bit. Don't want another inning that starts well to get away. McDougall. Zip across the diamond. It remains 4-3 in this showdown for top spot in Pool B of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship on IKS. Griffin Keller, Jordy McDougall, and catcher Chris Unterreiner, who has a hit tonight, due up for the Regina Trappers, trailing 4-3. As we are set to begin inning number 5. Keller has walked and struck out.
Number 31, Griffin Keller.
Play.
And Beaver, a swinging strike from Keller, who has 3 hits. He's homered, he's doubled, and driven in 4. Beaver comes in, well in this time.
1-1.
It's the home plate umpire. Lets you in on what the count is. There's the changeup again. And it's been quite effective against Keller to this point.
As we said in the pregame, Peter, both these teams, even though they don't play in the same leagues, both know each other quite well, and I'm sure Scott has a pretty extensive scouting report on a few of these big hitters for Regina.
Second strikeout of Griffin Keller, which is never an easy chore to open up the top of the 5th.
Definite change up on that one. You just see that straight downward movement out of the hand of Scott Beaver, and as you said, Griffin down on for the second time on strikes in this game.
He's got really good arm movement.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of discrepancy between that and the
Ball.
fastball.
No, for sure, and that's obviously one of the key components of that changeup is keep your same arm motion, don't slow anything down or tip anything off to the other team.
That was most certainly the fastball. Beaver trying to respond himself after sailing along and then giving up 3 in the last inning. Been very impressed with him in this game.
Yeah, mixes speeds well, and a veteran guy that just knows how to get outs.
There's the change again.
Full count, 3-2.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you're good.
Boy, he is making
I
a
had that caught.
diet on the changeup, and it is an excellent one for strikeout number 8 of the game and second consecutively here in the 5th.
And to me, what makes it so impressive is that, and Peter, we just watched, he goes 3-1 and then throws a 3-1 changeup and a 3-2 changeup. And it just shows you the confidence he has in that pitch to know that he can get it in there for strikes and get, if not a called strike, a swinging strike for sure.
Unterreiner, a mile in the air, rose to Bahan, and guarantees a good inning for Manitoba as the Trappers go 1-2-3 in the 5th. A one-run game in a battle of two teams with 2-0 records here at Curry Field in Regina. Four-3 is the score. Both teams scored 3 runs in an inning in the game. Manitoba scored 3 in the bottom of the third to jump into a 4-0 advantage, only to have the Trappers come back in the top of the 4th, and it remains 4-3.
While we have a second, we'll update you on the game from Optimist Park. Things kind of unraveling for Ontario here right now. Team Nova Scotia still batting in the bottom of the 4th inning, 7-2. Team Nova Scotia in that game right now over Team Ontario. So again, as long as we're on the air, we'll keep you updated on that one as long as we can.
And it is all but over in terms of trying to win a Canadian championship for the loser of that game.
I would say so. 3 losses is a tough hole to be in for sure, and more than likely, unless everyone unravels very quickly, that's not going to work out very well.
You'd require a 3-way tie at best, I would think, at 1-3 to give yourself an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sure, as I think in my head about the upcoming schedule, that that's even a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't think so.
I think 3 losses definitely for this year will be, unfortunately, an exit from the tournament.
It isn't completely out of the realm, but quite close. And I'll leave it at that, because every time I try to do math in my head and think about schedules and try to call a game at the same time, only bad things happen. Austin Pistaka, that's a good thing that happened if you're Gavin Wushke, because you have another strikeout.
And for Wushke tonight, it's been a little bit of a rough go. I felt like his control and stuff was kind of lacking in the first couple of innings. And as you alluded to, Peter, a lot of hard-hit baseballs flying around the park, whether they were outs or hits. And, you know, he's done a pretty good job of calming himself down here over the last couple of innings and kind of getting back into a little bit of a groove and keeping his team at this 4-3 slot right now.
He's a young player from Regina, pitching in a Canadian championship at home.
Absolutely.
That's not easy.
No, it's not.
Even though he's pitched in some real big games, he's pitched in Western Canadian Baseball League playoff games for championship team in Okotoks.
And you factor in the fact that, you know, like you said, the last 2 years it's been 2 silver medals for the Trappers at the Nationals, and obviously they're looking for an upgrade there, and I'm sure not just for him, but for the whole team. You know, it's especially in front of family and friends at home. Like, they really want to get this done this year.
Oh, there's only one goal. We know that.
Absolutely.
And anything less than that for these guys will feel like a disappointment. That's just the reality of the situation. And yet, you know, as tonight has shown and other games have shown, not easy to win this event by any stretch of the imagination.
Talent takes a huge part of that, but you need some bounces along the way. You need that key hit along the way, and everything has to come together at the right time.
Mitch Olson is our batter with a 2-2 count and 1 out. Edmonds, strong arm, and there's 2 down.
Nice play there by the shortstop, Edmonds, as he stays back on this high chopper off the bat of Mitch Olson. Takes on a couple of hops. Good, strong throw, and able to get Mitch by about a step and a half at first for the second out here in the 5th inning.
There are a lot of tricky plays on this diamond for infielders. Do I go? Do I stay? Do I get caught in between? Nothing tricky about that. And exactly the type of inning the Trappers were looking for. Pardon me.
It's all because he brought up the lip. He woke up the lip.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have been trying to shut up these lips forever. 4-3 it remains. We're going to the 6th in this all-important showdown on night number 2 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championship in Regina on IKS. .32-year-old Munster product. Cole Baumel, the center fielder, a one-time 10th-round pick of the Detroit Tigers, has a double tonight, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3-run top of the 4th, and will step into the batter's box against Scott Beaver with his team down a run in the 6th. An inside fastball finds the mark. Baumel hit 300 in this event last year. And out in front of that, changeup again. It's got such good late sinking movement. And the one thing about a changeup, if you keep it down there, even if it's a ball, you don't get hurt. You leave it up, some tough things can happen. Baumel off the base of the wall. He's going to have another double.
Wow. And again, we talk about two-strike execution and, 0-2 count there for Beaver, and we'll see where that pitch is here in a minute on the replay. But again, change up, and you're exactly right, Peter. Left that one up in the zone 0-2, and Baumel puts a charge on it and puts it off the base of the wall just under the 384 sign. And just like that, the Trappers have the tying run in scoring position here with nobody out.
Would you even consider a bunt here?
Hard to say here. I mean, you got a couple of good hitters coming up behind for sure. You had a great hitter at the plate as well.
Yeah, Edmonds is a really good hitter. He's walked twice tonight and scored once.
So, I mean, the decision is, do you play for the run or do you play for the big inning? And I mean, that's why we're up here in the booth and not making those decisions.
It's a good point by you. But I wouldn't mind being there. I think coaching at third base is the greatest job, maybe in life.
Maybe tomorrow you coach third, and I'll have Nolan up here with me.
I don't think he's buying that plan. I wouldn't ruin it, though. I might ruin it. No, I wouldn't ruin it. I'll give myself credit for that. I would not ruin it. Might not help it, but I don't think I'd ruin it.
Quick 0-2 count here on the shortstop. Edmonds is, again, we talk about productive at-bats here. Get something in play. Get the bat on the ball.
Comes up with another dandy of an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that's, as much as you say you need to make adjustments at the plate and stuff like that. Like Scott Beaver's changeup is just that good. There's no other way to put it. Like, just deceptive arm speed, and just such great movement on that pitch.
And he's rarely made a mistake. His location to Baumel, the ball that goes off the base of the wall, might be one of the only ones all night that wasn't really good. And I think that was another one.
Yep.
I heard cup there, buddy. Yeah. You good with that one?
Yeah, and it's
Pistaka being given a second here just to kind of.
And I wonder why. Right in the Caracas, Venezuela.
Play.
No balls and one strike. On the move is Baumel, and he'll slide in safely. No hesitation. That's the most important thing about that running decision, and it's always tricky. You don't want to make outs at third base.
And you see right there on the replay, like, you can see it in his face. He's looking, he sees that ball hit the dirt, gets a good jump, just goes far enough away from the catcher, Pistaka, and on he goes to third, and less than one out here now.
And 90 feet away from potentially tying the game as Beaver steps off and looks to reset himself. By the way, that very last play, that's why I'm staying up here.
Absolutely.
That one would send me to an early grave at third. Ball and a strike.
Ball, that's up.
That one got away just a tad from Beaver.
1.
Good pitching matchup. Terrific game here on this Friday night with so much on the line.
Langlois with a double and a pair of RBIs already tonight.
Ball
And
up.
looking to try and get the biggest RBI right now if he can.
And he's got a good hitters count to work with. Doesn't feel like Beaver's been behind a lot of batters tonight.
Nope.
But he is here.
What a surprise, a 3-1 changeup.
Stunner.
I got 3-2. 3.
Not. Does he come back with it again? He did.
Impressive.
You know it's a great pitch when everybody, by and large, in the park paying attention, especially the batter, knows it's coming. And it's too good to hit. That
Absolutely.
just showed you right there.
Absolutely.
Too good. 10th strikeout of the game for Beaver. Nolan Bracken, a swing and a miss for the designated hitter, the 38-year-old from Regina. Had 3 hits in last year's Canadian Championship, including a home run against Alberta. Beaver ahead after 2 more changeups. No balls and 2 strikes. Nice block by Pistaka. Most important, maybe play he's made all evening long with the tying run at third.
Absolutely. Your pitcher's working hard for you here. The last thing you want is a ball to just skip over your shoulder and back to the backstop.
Bracken has tied the game. The 38-year-old with a big single to right. And the Trappers have fought back from 4 down to draw even in the 6th.
Another changeup, and Beaver knew it right away when he let go of it. Way too high in the zone. Bracken able to get his bat on it. And just like that, we have a brand new ball game, Peter.
And we have a new runner. There's a lot of congratulations right now in the dugout for Nolan Bracken. And there you have a look. The round of high fives, including the last one from the guy who scored the run, Cole Baumel, who has 2 doubles in the game.
Play.
Tyler Arnold has come in to run. And it's a 4-4 tie.
Talk about how well Beaver's throwing tonight, and you talk about your situational hitting and your take a mistake when you can. And that right there, change up in the zone. Bracken having a little bit of a rough night at the plate with a couple of strikeouts and able to break out when it matters most.
That was massive.
Absolutely.
Kendall Keller has a base hit in the game. He's 1 for 2. The 24-year-old.
The foul ball brought to you by CIBC Wood Gundy, helping you
2 balls and a strike.
your financial game.
We did see Arnold earlier today
I have 2-1.
against the left-hander.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good count potentially to run on.
Good change up there again.
Boy, I'd like to know how many of them he's thrown in this game. Feels like more than half.
I'm gonna say the 50 to 60% range for sure. Might even be higher than that.
Keller knocked down, staying with it is Ty Ends. Nolan Bracken with a large knock. 4-4 tie going to the bottom of the 6th. Regina Trappers trailed at 1 point, 4-0. You see on your screen, we're tied at 4. Both teams 2-0 in the round robin. Chance for the Trappers to nail down top spot.
Seems like a similar script from a game we just called, Peter.
Quite similar. Different kind of game, though.
Absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
one's been very well played. Two really good teams. I would not be shocked to see either one of these teams play late into this event.
Absolutely. Both with tons of talent, both with tons of hitting, both with tons of pitching.
And that, to me, is what really can be a decider. Lockheed's had a really good night, and he makes solid contact in search of a third consecutive hit, but he'll fly out to Griffin Keller in left.
At the plate, the second baseman, Drew Hillhorst.
Look at that one here on the replay. Little tailing fastball. Good job by Lockheed. Gets the bat out and hits it where it's pitched, but fortunately he hits it right at Griffin Keller.
Second baseman, Andrew Hillhorst. There's a slider for a strike. Yeah, I'd like to see these teams in a series. That's how much I've enjoyed this one tonight.
Absolutely. It's funny, you could hear someone scream from the bench, Phil, 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 and that's a tough play.
To me, that probably, take nothing away from both guys, it's easier coming in than it is going out.
It is. It is. That's the first baseman's ball, and I mean, it's, you know, it's a mistake. That's fine. They happen. Both guys putting in an effort. They're hard to get mad at that, and when your pitcher picks you up like that, all the better.
That's helpful.
Absolutely.
Great pitch from Gavin Wuschke.
Again, we talked about this last inning, but a guy like Wuschke, who looked like he might have been done a few innings ago, and I'll be straight up with you, when it was 4-0, he's done a great job of battling these last 3 innings to keep himself in this game, and not only him, but his team in this game as well.
Tailing fastball that misses to shortstop Garrett Popplestone, the 35-year-old from Brandon, who hit .400 this year with the Brandon Young Guns.
One of my favorite teams to follow with the stuff that I do.
And how come?
They're great guys. You know what? They stay in contact constantly. Been on the podcast a few times. You know, just a great group of guys.
Well, there's lots of them playing
Absolutely.
in this event. Been an absolute pleasure having a chance to work it for the first time. Watched it on a few occasions.
More importantly for me, it's been great to have a chance to work with you and learn some stuff from you as well. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure in return. Nothing better than sitting in a booth with a guy that you respect and knows his stuff as well as anybody. Check swing. Wuschke has picked a good time to find his best stretch. He's sat down 7 in a row in a 4-4 tie heading to the 7th here in Regina. 4-4 the score. Exactly what you would want in a game of this magnitude. We know for sure that the winner's going to be in the playoffs. That's for absolute sure. There's still some math, some possibilities in terms of the winner, and more so the Trappers, to even maybe wrap up top spot in this pool with a win. But the more I go through all the sequences in my head, I'm not sure that would be completely for sure, even with a win.
Yeah, there's a lot of math involved there, but for sure for the Traps, I think the way their schedule lays out with their last game that they have, I think for them it would be a clinched semifinal spot. If they lose this game and Manitoba wins, I think there could be some leeway into what happens with that top spot for sure.
Well, Beaver's not getting away from his best pitch.
No.
And that's the changeup, and that's strikeout number 11, which might be a tournament high.
I believe so. The highest I've seen so far is 10 3 times. So,
by my count, that's number 11. Mentioned right off the top that he had 4 games this year in league play where he struck out 12 or more. So this would be a 5th. If he registers one more, Griffin Keller has other ideas. Hillhorst.
Ooh, look at that bounce.
Big high hop. Don't know exactly how that will be scored, but that is a very difficult ball to deal with for the second baseman.
Yeah, Hillhorst waits back on that one, tries to get a good hop on it, but unfortunately that last hop that it takes a big bounce. I'm going to say that one will be scored in error. Either way, the Regina Trappers have a runner here in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out.
Well, Dan, as you've mentioned on more than one occasion, and I completely echo the sentiment, it's a balk.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow is right. It's a tough time for one of those.
I'll have a look here on the monitor, and I think Beaver's asking what he did wrong here, so we'll see what comes up.
Well, we have a lot of umpiring supervisor types up here, and they had a peek at it.
Hey, play.
And they said yes immediately after looking at the replay.
And I think what it is there is the no step off. It's just the straight spin on the mound, and I think that's why we have the balk there.
So Jordy McDougall, the batter, he had a grand slam earlier today in the win over Alberta. He'll take a base hit right now. Griffin Keller reached on what we think was an error. We don't know yet officially, and it could have been called either way.
The important thing here for the Trappers is it has them a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Two strikes to McDougall. 1 out, runner in scoring position in the 7th. It's fair. Tweet. Not in time. McDougall legs out an infield single.
Another good pitch here, a changeup from Scott Beaver, and good job there by Jordy McDougall. Just throw the bat at the ball and get it in play, and he's able to beat that out by about half a step at first base.
Chris Unterreiner has his first hit of the tournament earlier tonight off Scott Beaver.
I got 3 if he tags.
That ball sailing into left center field, and the shortstop Garrett Popplestone gonna take control of that one and make the catch. No infield fly on that play. Not a regular play for the infielder though, even though there was less than 2 outs and the play was made by the infield.
A basket catch. This is not how you draw it up as an infielder. But whatever it takes sometimes. Ooh. And that's going to be the end of the night for Beaver. He's going to bring in a lefty to face Cole Baumel, who did double twice off Beaver.
Left-hander is Anthony Friesen, who makes his way in from the Manitoba bullpen.
Well, as Ken Mitchell's go for a soda plays, I wouldn't mind another soda, but I'd rather just stay. It's been too good.
Well, having a look here at the night for Scott Beaver, and what an evening for him on the mound. I mean, I went back and counted in my book. I actually had one more than you, Peter. I had a dozen strikeouts.
I'm sure you're correct.
And just an impressive night for the veteran right-hander for Team Manitoba. As you see him talking to his teammates there about the balk, and it's one of those things that's going to kind of sit in your head for a while for sure. And that we watch now as left-hander Anthony Friesen takes his warm-up pitches. Anthony played for Pilot Mound in the Southwest League. Hails from Pilot Mound as well.
36 years old. 6-2 at last year's Canadian Championships. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. Walked 8, or struck out 8, pardon me, and walked 2. Pitched 4 2/3 against Nova Scotia, 2 innings against Quebec. And comes into a very crucial spot. So the manager wanted lefty against lefty.
Anthony also had a stint with the Cartwright Twins at Westerns this year. Went 1-0 in 5 1/3 innings, 1 hit allowed, and 5 Ks out there, and helping the Cartwright Twins win the Western Canadians this year as well. So well-traveled this year for the veteran left-hander.
Calls on the catcher, Austin Pistaka, to make sure they're on the same page. (0-2) was his record in the regular season with Pilot Mound. But you just gave some quality numbers from a good competition much more recently.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Baumel, 2 doubles tonight. He's been on base 3 times. He's scored 2 runs. Can he deliver again?
Last few outings for Friesen have been in relief, and he's certainly been able to shut the door on some tough situations.
Ball and a strike to Baumel, the 32-year-old. Gets away from Pistaka. Friesen has thrown an inning and 2/3 so far in this competition. Faced 5 batters total. Has a strikeout. Has not given up a hit. Two balls and a strike to Cole Baumel in a 4-4 7th inning tie. Baumel had a big rip but missed. These are the situations that make this sport so great, when every pitch matters.
That's a veteran left-hander stepping up in a high-pressure system and coming up with some big, big pitches.
Friesen freezes Baumel with the most important pitch of the game. It remains 4-4, and Manitoba will have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th in this terrific showdown on night number 2 of the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships. Austin Tweed has hit the ball hard all night, but he doesn't have a hit. He'd love one right now. 4-4. Manitoba led the game at 1.4-0. The Trappers battled back. They were 90 feet away from taking the lead. He hit it hard again, but this time it rolls to the wall. Kendall Keller with a great throw. It's not in time.
Ooh, what a throw from Keller. Wow.
Time.
Austin Tweet leads off the 7th with a double. And Kendall Keller threw a strike.
It'll bring up the center fielder, Ty Paddock.
Just a tad offline. But you can't really do it a lot better.
So time called here. It looks like Coach Nolan DeZodel going to make a trip to the mound. More or less for this one, I think, inning just started here, so not so much a break for Wuschke, but more so to get the defense set up here too, I think, because obviously, even though it's the number 2 hitter, Ty Paddock up, very strong possibility of a bunt coming here to try and get that runner to third base, but
yeah, I would think bunt defense is a big part of this conversation. So the Trappers miss on an opportunity to take the lead in the top of the inning. And now it's Manitoba.
so it does look like there's a little bit of stirring down there in the Regina bullpen, but no one actively throwing right now.
Well, they're not going to wait either.
No, and I see now they're going to put Paddock on with the walk.
Okay, here we go.
So it does put the double play in order here if we do get a swing with youngster Caden Rose-Diva coming to the plate now.
And still, bunt defense applies.
Absolutely. Not much is going to change here for the scenario. Just making sure that the Trappers know where they're going, know their coverages, and be able to do this properly.
The left fielder, Rose-Diva, has a hit in the game, and he will square to bunt. Lays it down. Wuschke's going to go to third.
Wow,
and
good
made
play.
the play.
That's a good play right there. Again, the most important thing out of that was no hesitation. No hesitation on that. Just pick it up. Listen to your teammates. Had plenty of time to get it over there. And we get the out there as we see here in the replay. Good play by Wuschke to get off the mound early and able to get Tweet there by a good step and a half.
And had to pivot in the other direction to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You talk sometimes about a left-hander on a bunt play having to go to first, how they have to spin. For the right-hander, it's the opposite, going to third.
Absolutely.
Great play by Wuschke. There's a good play by the veteran catcher Chris Unterreiner,
Big play, buddy.
who does a lot of baseball teaching.
Austin Pistaka at the plate here now for Team Manitoba. 0 for 2 tonight. He had a walk and a run scored back in the third.
Swing and a miss. A 1-1 count to Pistaka. The 27-year-old from LaSalle, a member of the Winnipeg A's, hit .514 with that team this year. Edmonds ducking around the base runner.
Ball.
Good pitch there from Wuschke, but unable to get Pistaka to chase that one.
I have 2-1.
Just had a quick peek out over the window here. I've been kind of sitting back all night, but great crowd here tonight at the park, too.
Yeah, right there, I think, with last night.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was a wee bit warmer.
Ball.
Now it's 3-1.
3-1.
One out, bottom of the seventh. In a battle of 2-0 teams. Top spot in Pool B on the line. Back goes Edmonds. In comes Griffin Keller to make the catch. Good communication between shortstop and left fielder.
Absolutely. That was going to be a really tough play there for Dylan Edmonds. Griffin Keller, nice and loud, able to communicate with him, takes control of that play. And the veteran left fielder able to rein that one in, and that's a big, big out there. 2 outs now with runners on first and second.
Now an opportunity for Mitch Olson to win it.
Ball, that's up.
As you heard from our home plate umpire, ball, that's up. Tension everywhere.
Good fastball there from Wuschke. Gets that in the hands of Mitch Olson for strike one.
1-1.
The 23-year-old right-hander. Facing the 37-year-old Olson, who's from Deloraine in Manitoba.
One of the veteran players on that Deloraine Royals team out of the Southwest Loop.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Probably the biggest pitch of the night here for Wuschke.
Play.
He tries to wiggle his way out of this jam that he's in right now.
Oh, it got by the catcher. Unterreiner from his knees on one hop
What a throw.
to get him.
Mitch Olson saying to the home plate umpire that
No, I got nothing.
he tipped the ball. We're going to see if we can catch anything here on the replay.
Was his glove.
The sound you hear was his glove.
Nope, absolutely correct. 100%. He swings and misses on that.
I saw it. It was not a foul ball.
Yeah, 100% correct.
I do not want to get help.
Chris Unterreiner. That is some throw.
Yeah.
Fell back into the screen and bounced it perfectly to Langlois. And if I'm not mistaken, in this event, we're going to extras for the first time.
Free baseball.
Back with the 8th right after this. Anthony Friesen came on in a very difficult situation to get a huge out of Cole Baumel to keep it at 4-4, and then the work by Gavin Wuschke. First and second, nobody out after the leadoff double by Dawson Tweet. He made a superb fielding play and throw to get a force out at third on a bunt attempt, and ended the inning striking out Mitch Olson, who thought maybe he had made contact, didn't. Catcher Chris Unterreiner ended up with his backside against the screen to throw him out after the strikeout at first. As Dylan Edmonds falls behind the veteran 36-year-old Friesen on a couple of strikes.
Final score from Optimist Park. Team Nova Scotia 8, Team Ontario 2. So we know part of the equation tonight that we were looking for with this pool is that ball hit on the ground by Edmonds to second baseman. On to first, and that is the first out here in the top of the 8th inning as we were in extras here at Curry Field.
Drew Hillhorst, the second baseman, makes the play for out number 1. Will we see Wuschke again in the 8th?
I'm interested here. Still no one throwing down in the Regina pen. Veteran Friesen doing a good job coming in here, filling the zone with strikes.
Phil Langlois had a huge double that played a integral part in Regina's comeback in the game from 4-0 down after 3. He fouls that back into the screen. And Tyler Arnold will
I have 1-2, 1-2.
track it down from the on-deck spot. He came into the game
Thanks.
as a runner after a very significant hit.
Why?
Nolan Bracken single in the 6th that tied the game at 4.
Yeah, we talked about that. A little bit of a rough night at the plate for Bracken, but, you know, everything kind of feels a little bit better when you get that big hit when you need it, and tied this game up at 4.
You won't remember the other at-bats.
That's for sure.
Langlois. Gives himself another opportunity to swing it again. Both teams 2-0.
Still 2-2. Flag.
Regina, I truly believe, with a win, would not only clinch a playoff spot, in a position to finish first, and it goes off the glove of Hillhorst. And Langlois at first base with 1 out.
Very hard hit ball there from Langlois. I'm going to say that's probably going to go as an error, even though it was hit very hard.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at it here, just off the tip of the glove of Hillhorst and into right center field. Regardless, a 1-out base runner here for the Regina Trappers in the top of the 8th inning.
He's had a couple of tough plays,
Why?
Hillhorst, and potentially both of them might have been scored errors. Tyler Arnold rose to bas with plenty of room. 2 away in the top of the 8th. Is Arnold's first at-bat of this game.
Yeah, time.
And a pinch hitter, Brody Vogel, who homered in a 10-4 victory earlier today over Team Alberta, the Calgary Rockies. And the 26-year-old, could he do it again?
All these guys we were talking about earlier, we had a right-handed starter in, so Tyler Arnold has made his way into the game for Nolan Bracken. Now Brody Vogel going to make his way into the game here. He'll pinch hit for right fielder Kendall Keller, who exits this evening 1 for 3 with a single back in the 4th inning.
is finally a little action in the Regina Trappers pen as Friesen quickly gets ahead of pinch hitter Brody Vogel, the 26-year-old member of the Saskatoon Outlaws on a regular basis.
Wouldn't you know, Cody Rock in the pen now for the Regina Trappers.
Change up, Vogel deep. He did it again.
Wow.
Brody Vogel's second home run of the day. The first one mattered. This one is massive. Gives the Trappers their first lead. It's 6-4.
Man, what an at-bat. See the pitch here. Slider from Friesen hangs out over the middle of the plate, and Brody Vogel does not miss.
Second home run of the tournament, second home run of the day. As Hillhorse fights this one off to end the eighth. Brody Vogel.
Wow.
They don't get any bigger than that. Can his team close it in the bottom half? You're about to find out at the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Cody Rock, who gave his team 7 superb innings in their first game against Nova Scotia last night, in to try to close it after pinch hitter Brody Vogel goes deep to left, a 2-run shot in the top of this inning.
With Rock coming into the game here, that closes the book on starter Gavin Wuschke. As we said, little bit of a rough start, but settled in so nicely over the last few innings. 7 innings pitched, 4 runs, 1 earned on 7 hits, 3 walks, and 5 punch-outs on a great evening for the Regina right-hander.
The 31-year-old from Kenora, Saskatchewan, on to try to save it. Facing Ty Enns, who has a couple of hits in the game.
Andrew Lockheed, Drew Hillhorse, the next batters due up.
And Lockheed has 2 hits, and he's hit it hard 3 times.
We'll see what Rock has in the tank here. A couple of fastballs already, and both had pretty good life on them, so.
But he starts with 3 straight balls. The 31-year-old, a regular member of the provincial champion Carlisle Cardinals, who won Saskatchewan's Tier 1 provincial men's title for the first time ever earlier this month.
Still a good hitters count here for Enns as he currently sits with a 3-1 count.
Ball 4.
And not the way Cody and the Trappers wanted to begin the bottom of the inning.
At the plate for Manitoba, the right fielder, Andrew Lockheed.
Andrew Lockheed is doubled, singled, driven in 2, and hit a hard liner to Griffin Keller in left field to make it out.
Ball, that's in.
Rock having some control issues here right now. 5 pitches so far, 6 pitches so far. 4 of them for balls. He finds the zone on that one.
That's dirty. That's a good pitch.
Ball and a strike to Lockheed. Comes right back with a slider.
I have 1-2, 1-2.
Good location there, right on the outside corner.
Now do you try and bust him in? Base hit. Lockheed's 3rd hit of the game, and don't go anywhere.
I think you were right there, Peter. He did try and get that ball in. You see where Unterrider's set up, but unfortunately sails back out over the plate. Lockheed able to keep the hands back, rip that one to left field for a single, and a pair of runners on here, 1st and 2nd, nobody out, and a trip to the mound here for head coach Nolan DeZodel.
A walk and a hit by Lockheed.
You okay?
The tying runners at first.
All right.
This has just been a fabulous affair.
At the plate, the second baseman, Drew Hillhorst.
Head coach, manager Nolan DeZodel on maybe again to talk about how they would defend a bunt.
Play.
Hillhorst, the number 8 hitter. You'd want to push it towards 3rd if you could. No show of it on the first pitch from Cody Rock.
This is a tough spot for that because you do need 2 here, and the 2 is just a tie. So, we talked about this a couple of innings ago. Do we play for the tie, or do we want to play to try and win the game? And I think, coach has kind of made his decision here, unless he changes his mind on this pitch.
He didn't.
Yeah, I got it.
Hillhorst, 0 for 3, struck out his last 2 times, but against Gavin Wuschke, who gave the Trappers 7 innings.
Ball.
The only inning against the Dartmouth Dry that Cody Rock had any difficulty in really last night was which inning? The first.
First inning he threw, yeah.
Foul. You all right?
Hasn't been able to find the fastball yet, but he's had pretty good movement on the breaking ball.
Important pitch here for Rock. 2-2 count, nobody out, 1st and 2nd. Need to get an out here somewhere.
This is going to fall in. They're going to hold the runner at 3rd, and the bases are loaded after the Hillhorst hit, and there's still nobody out.
Just as you get excited about that 2-run home run last inning, now we got a bit of a jam here that Trap's going to have to work out of. Here's the Manitoba batters have done a really good job just hit the ball where it's pitched, get the ball in play, and then try and produce runs. And right now they have the bases loaded with nobody out. And a dangerous hitter with Garrett Popplestone coming to the plate now.
He's 0 for 3 in the game, and he tried to hit that. I'll name the direction of your local Saskatchewan town nearby. I've given up on that game today.
Heads up.
That one, the direction was towards his own dugout. That one I don't need a map for. And by the way, I don't need a Saskatchewan map either.
2 strikes.
For anybody who might be wondering.
That's up. Ball.
So the 2-strike pitch is what I would deem a good miss.
Changes the eye level of the batter, and now you come back with your catcher, figure out what you want to throw here and try and execute.
That's down.
Ooh, Cody wanted that one. Of course he did. So did the majority of the fans in attendance. Although there's a nice contingent here from Manitoba that have certainly made noise when good things have happened for their squad. And Popplestone having a good at-bat. The 35-year-old from Brandon.
Tough part of the order here, too. You know, even though Popplestone's the number 9 hitter, very capable hitter at the plate, and then we're right back at the top of the order with Dawson Tweet coming up next.
These are two good teams.
Big pitch there by Rock.
Cody Rock. And again, it's the downward movement on the slider.
Yeah, just and late movement on that one. That was the harder one. Looks like a fastball and then just starts to peel in at the end there. And Popplestone swings and misses that one for the first out.
Dawson Tweet started the bottom of the 7th with a double. Backdoor variety finds the outer portion of the plate. 1 out, bases loaded, a 2-run Trapper advantage. Quick pitch that time.
The fall ball brought to you by CIBC Wood Dundee, helping you stay on top of your financial game.
I have 2 strikes.
Quick 0-2 count here on the batter, Dawson Tweet.
The 23-year-old from Russell, Manitoba. Struck him out.
Right on the edge. Right on the edge.
You heard from home plate umpire Steve Cochran. He said that pitch was right on the edge. It certainly looked like it was there.
In a key moment last night, after the manager was ejected on an obstruction call, bases loaded, nobody out. Cody Rock worked his way out of it. This, a more crucial situation.
And his manager still around.
Talked about Brody Vogel doing it again. This would be an important do it again, facing an excellent hitter in Ty Paddock. He's ahead. No balls and 2 strikes.
Crowd here starting to make a little bit of noise now. 1 pitch away here for Cody Rock and the Regina Trappers.
Play. Foul.
Just enough of it.
Tough pitch there. Slider right in on the hands, and Paddock fouls that one off his foot.
You good? Take your time. You got time. You're okay.
Another 0-2 on the way.
Tough pitch. Tough pitch.
I got 1-2. 1-2.
Cody takes the ball back with a little disgust. Looks in, gets the sign. Struck him out! Cody Rock in relief. Loads the bases with nobody out and finds a way to close the deal. A win that I believe will send the Trappers into a semifinal berth. We'll double check on that to be sure. They're 3-0. They trailed the game at one point 4-0 in one whale of a game that required extra innings. We'll chat with a couple members of the winning team when we return to the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships here in Regina.
On field level after a big 6-4 extra inning win for the Regina Trappers over Team Manitoba. Joining me right now, I have the starting pitcher Gavin Wuschke and Mr. Home Run himself, Brody Vogel, beside me. Gavin, I'm going to start with you. Ball's hard tonight. The second half of your start, you really settled in and kind of gave your team some key innings. Kind of walk me through the mentality through that start tonight.
I mean, coming into this tournament, didn't really know what to expect. They were a hell of a ball club. Got to tip my cap to them, but Bats really picked me up tonight. It was good.
And to that note, Bats picking people up. Brody, we had this chat a little while ago, but big pinch hit, 2-run home run, wakes this crowd up. Just walk me through that, man, electrifying the crowd like that.
Oh, well, just the anticipation of sitting there and knowing you're going to go in for an opportunity to do something. So there was that, and actually capitalizing. That was another thing, man. We stuck to the plan tonight. Everybody did their job. Gav shoved, and then we ended up coming back and did what we did best, and just never quit.
So sitting at 3-0 now, and I will tip my cap to Manitoba starter Scott Beaver. Sitting up in the booth and watching this game tonight as we go. 12 strikeouts. He just seemed to kind of guessing at what was going to be coming there. Just, what do you guys got to do to be better when you see stuff like that happening?
Start throwing changeups in batting practice, I think. That's what I think. No, I'm happy I didn't face him. He looked nasty, and I've heard a lot of... he actually faced me in Westerns a couple years ago and made me look like I'd never played baseball before, so, yeah.
Well, he certainly had a good outing tonight, but not enough as the Regina Trappers move to 3-0 this week at the National Championships. They will now play their final round-robin game tomorrow and then see where they sit in the standings. Final score here from Curry Field tonight. Regina Trappers 6, Team Manitoba 4. Peter, back up to you in the booth.
Great job, Dan. Again today, what a day we've had, and what an ending to it. That was senior men's baseball at its finest. The Regina Trappers rebound from a 4-0 deficit. They go 3-0 in round-robin play. We'll have to double-check when we're off the air, but by my tabulation, I think that will guarantee them top spot regardless of what occurs against Leaside tomorrow. But don't want to say that for absolute sure. I can say this for sure. Great game, great day, good night from